Joining us now is author David Bowman, career consultant and president of TTG Consultants. Thank you for being here. David, reality being what it is, jobs are very important, and a lot of people are losing theirs. Is this recession different from others that we've seen?
Quite so, Ron. The world's in transition, major transition. The United States is in transition. Manufacturing is leaving this country. And all you have to do is take a train trip from New York to Philadelphia and see the rusting, falling down factories. Los Angeles is losing 500 manufacturing jobs a day. That tells you what's happening. The World Future Society predicts that by the year 2040, there will be 3% of this population in this country will be in manufacturing. It's changing. Globalization, it's extraordinary. Companies in this country are having to do all kinds of downsizing, or right-sizing as it's sometimes called, to become more productive. They think it's more productive. Hopefully we'll see if it's more productive as we move into the next decade. But lots of changes. And this means people are losing their jobs. And for the first time in history, this recession is wearing pinstripes.
Yeah, most of the unemployed now, or a good portion of them, are from middle management,
65%.
which usually means somewhere around middle age. What are the consequences of having this huge number of midlife crisis people suddenly entering the ranks of the unemployed?
Well, one of the consequences is these folks are not able to find new jobs because they're being what we call pancaked out. Companies are eliminating mid-management layers, and mid-management tends to be midlife people. So as a consequence, what's happening is these folks can't find jobs. They are so incredibly single-focused, they haven't got the ability, because they've never been taught this, to open their minds, to look at other opportunities out there. So as a consequence, they go back to the big companies trying to find jobs in other big companies, and there aren't any jobs. But pre-retirement planning is so terribly important, because if you don't do it, one, you don't have any money when you retire, and secondly, you don't know when the kids leave, what are we going to do with this house? Are we going to stay in this house? Are we going to move to the beach? Are we going to move to a small town in the mountains? What are we going? These things have to be planned, and if you don't do it, all of a sudden you wake up and you are totally at bay. You don't know what you're doing. We're finding a lot of people who are leaving the big cities, selling their homes, their whatever, the big old, house, if you happen to have a big old house, or a small one if you happen to have a small one in the valley in Los Angeles. But they're getting a lot of money for those, and they're moving to small towns. They are therefore getting a bit of a nest egg, and they are also then able to get a very nice, perhaps upscale lifestyle in that small town.
Picking up on your point, we've all seen those commercials where, I don't know, it's Shearson Lehman or some damn thing, where a big CEO comes in and he sits down and across the desk, and he now wants to become a migrant farm worker or something. Make my dream come true, Shearson Lehman. How do you actually do that, though?
Well, you have to plan it, first of all. And Shearson Lehman, in that sense, is right. But the problem with companies like that, and I don't want to downplay Shearson Lehman, is the fact they're selling something. They are selling securities, or they're selling something else. The problem is you've got to do your own planning.
I work at McDonald's. I don't like smelling like a Big Mac anymore. I want to do something else, but I have no education. What do I do?
No, it is called entrepreneurism, and
That's right.
I am finding in my business, the midlife folks that are coming through our career centers, there are no jobs. There literally are no jobs for these people. So we design them. We put them into home-based, small, but home-based businesses that really do work. It takes very little money to start some of these things. You can do it on your own. Now the key is, nothing happens until you have an order. So if you're not a sales type, if you're going to start a home-based business, you better have somebody with you who is a good salesperson.
A lot of this seems very self-centered, I have to say. It's all about me and, what I'm going to do in my life. Whatever happened to community service?
We have a retiring population that's the wealthiest that's ever been out there. A lot of folks don't need to work, but the interesting statistic is that as a person leaves a job and retires, their average age of life remaining is 8 years. And that's because they have no purpose. They have nothing to do. The wife or the husband is picking at them all the time. They're at home all the time. They have no purpose in life. So community service is a major way that these people can get back into doing something purposeful that isn't me, but that's outreach. And it's terribly, terribly good for them and good for the community.
Why doesn't this, quote, self-help industry wake up to the point that you can predict when somebody's going to go through, quote, this crisis and prepare them for it instead of try to solve the problem afterwards.
What you do is you plan.
That's right.
In other words, what do you want to be doing 10 years from now, lifestyle-wise, financially, job-wise, emotionally, all those things. Then you back it up 8 years, 6 years, 4 years, 2 years. The thing you're going to be doing, whether it's lifestyle, job, financial, whatever it is, in 2 years has got to fit into that master plan. If you don't, you're going to be a floater. And if you're a floater, you'll never get anywhere. You hope you're going to get a raise. You hope you're going to get a promotion. You hope you're going to get transferred. You hope it doesn't happen, and you just keep hoping. You've got to take charge of your life. Take charge of your career.